Welcome back to the 22 Apps Onboarding Sequence. My name is Matthew McGregor, and today we're diving into video 3 where we're going to be talking about branding your app and creating an experience users love. So let's dive into it. Again, if you haven't already watched the first 3 videos, definitely go ahead and watch them, especially the first one where I'll describe everything you get included in your free 22 Apps Lite account, which is awesome. Here we have, in the last 2 videos, we covered your purpose of the app and then the content that goes into your app. And the question that I want to kind of propose or ask here is, well, what about the theme? How does the app actually look like? How does it feel, right? What's the brand behind it? Because see, here's the thing. Whether it's with a website or with an app, you can think of this very, very similarly, where a crappy website does not give a professional vibe. It doesn't give the audience a good experience. It doesn't have a good feeling to it. And the same thing goes with an app. Is when users open up your app, they have an expectation of what it should feel like, what it should look like, and this type of thing. And so what I want to share with you here today is some ideas around how you can create the best user experience possible when it comes to your app. And the way we start off with this is with the branding and the color scheme and the fonts and how the app is actually capturing people's attention. Okay, so let's just start off with this. We're starting off with the tone of the app. Is it a light app or is it a dark app? Okay, this is more like, what are the primary and secondary colors of your app? So with our app, like 22 Apps, and our software and that type of thing, we prefer like a light, more vibrant, more fun feel to the app. And we like it to be very, very clean, very simplistic, very modern, like very like Apple-esque. Yet we also like to have a little bit of fun. So that's why you can see here where it says, what are your primary and secondary colors? We add into that pink, and we add the, the top banner and bottom banner of, the splash of colors and that sort of thing. So we like to have our things branded with that kind of funness to it, yet still very clean, very, simplistic. And so the question that I want to ask you is, how do you want your app designed? And if you've already got a whole branding scheme and you've got a branding guide and document and you know what I'm talking about, cool. If you've never really thought about colors or fonts or style or anything like that, you may want to consider it for your app. It's not a requirement. Nothing I say is a requirement. Take that with a grain of salt. Everything I say, I want you to also consider. I want you to also think about. I want you to write down and review. And most of the time, it's good to have a little bit of a theme going on, a little bit of a feeling, so that people, when they open up your app, they're like, I'm in your name's app, right? And the other side of that is choosing your fonts, okay? And what I like to say here is you don't want to spend too much time on the colors and fonts, but it's definitely important to, at the very least, consider them. Okay, here you can see a whole bunch of different fonts on the right side, and while all of them say the same thing, I'm sure you'd agree that they don't exactly say the same thing. Okay, they all represent something just a little bit different, or actually, in fact, oftentimes very, very, very different. Okay, this is where you want to consider and think, how can I make my app really have the feeling and the tone and the mood that I want? And oftentimes this might look like going over to Google Fonts, just so you type into Google Fonts, and just browsing and looking through the endless library of fonts that they have, which of course are all free. They're all royalty free. You can use them for whatever you want. And there's 3 important fonts that I always suggest choosing. I like to have a headline font, which is, a headline, a text font, which would be used for different paragraphs and that sort of thing. And then what I like to sometimes Sometimes, don't always need it, but sometimes a standout font. This might be, like as an example, the last one on this list of New York, where it's very curvy, it's very beautiful, handwritten, that type of thing. That would be what I'd consider a standout font. It's very different in nature from what you got going, yet it still fits the brand and represents what you're talking about, what it says. Okay, in a unique way, of course. Now, the other side to this is your app's layout. So once you've kind of got figured out what kind of fonts you want and the colors of the app, or your brand or your business, and you might even choose to just use your logo's colors. If you already have a logo, you can just use your logo's colors. So let's talk about a standard app layout. This is an example of how the majority of apps end up being created, as it's a very typical layout. It's very easy for users to understand. People get it. It makes sense. Okay, and so you might be here thinking, well, I've got my purpose of the app and I've got my content, but I don't know exactly how it's going to be all laid out. Well, that's what we're talking about here. So this is a standard layout where it's got that bar right at the top, where it's very, very clean, very simplistic. It often says the name of the app or the brand, or it might even have the logo on there. And then it has the bar at the bottom with different, what I'd call like quick select icons that you can jump to particular screens right there very, very, very quickly, where they don't have to go into the settings menu, just like you can see over on the right side of this screen, where if they click that top button, it opens up that pull-out menu. So what I want to share here is on the left side, where you can see M4 Mastery with the pink and the orange kind of at the bottom. This is where they've designed their app layout to be very, very simplistic, yet in the middle of the screen. So it says, where do you want to focus today? And it has the 4 main areas of their app, which is, do you want to focus today on messaging, marketing, monetization, and media? And when they click that, it opens up different selections of what they can look at. You can see on the second screen is where they have an article that they've written, where it says, you've been friend zoned, and it has a description. And then it says their best solution is whatever. So you can really design your app exactly how you want. You can have it be any way you want. And the important thing here is to start thinking about how you want that to be laid out. On the right side, we have Kathy's app, Kathy Demers, who's super cool. And what Kathy's got going is she has her business success cafe, where people come in and they can learn from different experts. And so where she has what's brewing at the cafe, people can swipe through all the different speakers and events and different things that are coming up over the next little bit. And if they touch the button that's in the top left of the screen, they can open up that side menu, which allows them to select from a whole bunch of different options, in addition to the 5 buttons that are at the bottom of the screen. A non-standard app layout, though, would be something more like this. This would be what I'd consider alternative design. Okay, so here you can see an app called Slope, and we've already seen the well-off kind of brand. Slope is an app that you can think of much like Tinder, except it's for entertainment. Okay, where they can actually swipe left or swipe right, or click the X button or the heart icon to check out different entertainment that is in this in the Slope kind of area. So it's a little bit of a play on words. So I don't know, somewhere in the States. If you're there, cool. Let me know in the Facebook group. Anyway, on the right side, though, you can see David's app again with the well-off kind of branding, and he just has it where it navigates them directly through each individual screen until they get to the end of the sequence of what they're supposed to be doing. So consider that. There, you can have an alternative design. You don't have to have the traditional kind of, standard app layout design. If that works for you, fantastic, cool. I think it's easy. That's how we're designing the 22 apps app. And if you don't want to do that, there's all sorts of other things that you can do. And in fact, I'll make it easy for you, and I'll actually put literally all the examples again below this video, where you can check out all the different app examples and get some ideas on how you want your app to be designed. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to determine your app's colors, fonts, and general layout. And once again, I want you to go ahead and share that in the Facebook group. So go ahead and share your branding ideas and the layout ideas for your mobile app in our Facebook group, as we not only want to hear from you, but we also do want to hold you a little bit accountable as well. Right? Maybe you want to hold yourself accountable. Well, being able to share that and come out in the Facebook group can really, really help to make sure that you can easily be able to transition into building your app very, very, very simply, easily, and doing it, in kind of a more fun way. So be sure to do that. We want to hear from you. Once again, determine your app's colors, fonts, and general layout, and I've put a whole bunch of examples of apps below so you can do that. Oh, and remember, if you're going to be sharing this anyway, you might as well use your affiliate link so that we can pay you for your referrals. And one thing that I didn't emphasize last time was the tier 2 element and how we actually hard code this into our system for life. And in the affiliate area, there's like a video on it. It's fantastic. If you just want to watch that video, that's cool. Basically, when somebody refers, when you refer somebody to the platform, chances are good that based on how our system's structured, we're going to kind of teach them and train them and that sort of thing, and show them how to refer other people. And so now somebody who you've just referred is able to refer other people, and you get 5% of all of that person's referrals as a free user, and then as a pro user, you get 10% on anything that your referees sell. Okay, so as an example, if let's say Susan, I refer Susan. If Susan refers Jimmy Bob, then I will get paid, if I'm a pro user, 10% commission on Jimmy Bob's purchase, even though Susan did all the work. So consider that. Consider that if you get somebody who's like an influencer or has some sort of major impact in the space, if you just get one of those people, I mean, heck, you could pay your mortgage payments based off of their influence, right? Because they're going to be bringing in people again and again and again and again. And I mean, if they end up earning, for like us as a company, for 22 apps, if they end up earning $100,000 for 22 apps as a company, you're going to get paid $10,000 of that for literally doing nothing as a pro member, and then 5% as a free member. So definitely upgrade to pro if you're at all considering that, you get double the commissions for both your referrals and other people's referrals. And with that said, I look forward to seeing you in my favorite video, which is video 4, where we're going to be talking all about how to monetize your app, how to actually make money with your app, which I really believe to be the most important part. You don't want a website that kind of just, sits there and does nothing. We don't want your app to be like a website. We want it to be a monetization tool. So I'll see you there. Looking forward to video 4. Take care. Bye for now.